Blogger is a platform that's owned by Google, so to use Blogger, you would use your same login information that you would for Gmail or for Google Drive. It is a platform to create a blog, so it can be used by students, it can be used by teachers, and it really is that opportunity to develop a narrative and chronological record of learning. Some folks ask, why should we have students blog? It's on using technology, so we know that that always increases students' interest. Also, it can increase reflection, and we know that that's one of the deepest ways that students can learn if they're really thinking about their learning and entering that metacognitive state. It can help you hear the student voice a little bit more clearly, and it can improve critical thinking skills, our media and written literacy skills. It can also serve as an archive of learning and growth within writing or within the topics that are being discussed. You can really kind of look back and see how that student has grown. It can be used as part of a portfolio if needed. And it's also an opportunity where we can integrate some of our instruction in how to curate a digital footprint and talking to students about the kind of things that you should and should not put online and how to curate that footprint when future colleges or employers might be looking at that. As far as creating a blog, you log into Blogger, and then once you've done that, you can click on the arrow over here and create a new blog. So you create your title of your blog, and then your address has to be unique. So it can't be something that somebody else already has. Obviously, that's not something I would really use, but you see there has to be unique, and it'll tell you if it's available or not available there. And then you can go through the different opportunities that you have here to choose templates that you might like. And so then you just create your blog. And then you can go ahead and start typing right in there. You can share this blog with anybody you want to. Go ahead and share it with. You can publish the blog. So that's very important if you're teaching blogs, is to make sure that you go through and teach your students how to actually publish their blog to be able to do that. And then you go ahead and write it and then hit publish. So you go through all of the different ways to go ahead and create those posts, what you want in the posts, all of those things. And you can see the different links that are available. You can integrate a location, things like that. So I'll show you some examples. This is a classroom teacher's blog, a second grade teacher's blog. So they have the image of the students in there, which of course you wouldn't want to do unless you had approval from parents to do that. And then right here she's integrated some thankful presentations that the students did, and I'll show you one of those. So just integrate it into a Google Drive, a Google Slides opportunity here, and this is from something created by one of the students. So the parent could go ahead and log in on that, and I think she gets bonus points because she thanked her teacher too. So here's another example of a classroom blog. This is kind of a neat thing. This is from 8th grade language arts teacher, and in this blog post she's including instructions. So if you're looking at maybe kind of a flipped classroom model, or just an opportunity where you're reinforcing what you taught that day in the writing, this is a place where they can go, they can refresh themselves on the material that you taught, or if they were absent that day, they know to go here and to go ahead and read through it, and that's part of the expectation and what they're supposed to do as part of the assignment. And then posting different things that are relevant to her class. Here is one from Japan, and this is an international language school, and they are using it in a great way to really kind of show you featuring some of the student work from the classroom. So that's also a way that you can do that, is to go ahead and feature some of that student work, but again, you would not want to have first and last names, and not even first names unless you had cleared that with the parents. Here is a student blog. And so you can see here they're kind of going through experiences. It's called Miriam's Magical Moments. So as you're reading through, or even just scrolling through, you really start to get an idea of what Miriam might be like. And this is where that student voice piece is really kind of coming into play. You could also use this to go ahead and go through news in the school, things like that, but it's really neat to kind of get to know a student in a different way, and a blog is a really great opportunity to be able to do that. Here's another example of a student blog. This is Jaden's awesome blog, and he's a 6th grader in California, or at least he was when he created this. But as you scroll through this, you can really get an idea of some of his interests. So he's obviously very interested in WWE, and then you could read some of the assignments that they went through, did a biography on a quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. So kind of get an idea of what this kid might really be into. And that's really important, especially in those secondary grades where teachers might have somewhere around 130 to 170 students, to really try and get to know them. And then if you can integrate that in, it really starts to give you a flavor of some of that student voice. And blogging can really be your opportunity to hear your students.